it's Scott here and welcome to today's big video. This is the FIFA 21 gameplay reveal trailer where we're going to see all the new features that are in FIFA 21. We're going to show them on this video or stream, whether you're watching it live or as the video. If you do enjoy it and the hype is real, smash the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, because we are going to smash FIFA 21 out of the park. We're going to hit 100k subs. We're going to be uploading and streaming every single day, and we're going to get into the trailer in just a second. If you're looking to pick yourself up some coins before the end of FIFA 20, then make sure to click my link in the description to go to U7Buy, and make sure you use my code BIRDIE at checkout to get 5% off your order. So here we go. The trailer is starting right now. Again, if you enjoy it, thumb it up, subscribe, all that good stuff. Join the channel. Here we go. FIFA 21. Gameplay features. It's a really interesting concept. Oh my. That looks insane. There's no sound apparently.
Fake to explode past defenders. And in defense, counter the oncoming attacker by using your muscle to stop them in their tracks.
That dribbling looks like if you get good at it, it's going to be mad OP.
You rely on the AI to make the right runs off the ball. Now you've got more control over your attacker's movement in the build-up. Get inventive and control your teammates' runs with directed pass and go and directed runs. Watch how a tap on the left bumper and a flick of the right stick sends Salah into space before he dispatches the return. Or lock onto one player to take matters into your own hands.
He can switch.
The world's best players are always in the right place at the right time. Now they have that same level of positional awareness in FIFA. World-class forwards like Sergio Aguero hold their runs to stay onside. Creative playmakers like Kevin De Bruyne find the spaces to play those incisive through balls. Midfielders like Fabinho shut off passing lanes. And defensive giants like Van Dijk block more effectively when they get in the way of shots and crosses.
They're even more OP AI defending. That's worrying.
FIFA 21 also smooths out those defense v attack free-for-alls when the ball goes loose in the box with a refreshed collision system. Now
they said that about FIFA 20, so
natural outcomes when players fight.
I'll hold off for now. I hope that works. But they said the same about.
And a focus on the fundamentals includes your feedback to unlock creativity in FIFA 21. Switch on new manual headers and send headed shots and passes exactly where you're aiming. Dispatch the ball into space for your teammate to run onto with more effective long through balls.
But they might actually go where you aim now.
Competitor mode gives you an idea of what it's like to play against the best FIFA players in the world, giving your opponent better skill moves, dribbling, and all-round tactical awareness so you can take it beyond legendary. But don't worry if you miss your chance. Have another go at striking it just right with new gameplay rewinds in kickoff mode for a second shot at perfection. That's a quick tour of some of the biggest features coming to gameplay in FIFA 21. With the all-new attacking system, smarter positioning, better scoring opportunities, and player-controlled runs, you'll be rewarded for flexing your creativity and control in FIFA 21. And there's much more to come in career mode and FIFA Ultimate Team.
Okay, so what we're now going to get is a load of pitch notes to go with it. So they should have tweeted out now an article that we can go through talking about all of this new stuff. So here are all the details. Right? Please load. Thank you. So, a deep dive into gameplay news on FIFA 21. Oh my goodness, there's a lot to get into. Sick. This is the kind of stuff I love to see. Hopefully you're hyped for it. Again, if you're enjoying the stream/video, make sure you've supported it with a thumb up or a subscription. Welcome, welcome, welcome. FIFA 21 is hopefully going to be big. So, let's jump into everything that there is to talk about it here. Welcome to this year's deep dive into some of the changes and updates going into FIFA 21. Staying safe, we are doing. Yes. Based on community feedback, important. We want to give you all as much context into these changes as possible. Please note that we are not discussing the PS5 or Xbox Series X versions in this article, and more updates on those will follow later this year. See, they said this. All listed updates in this article will be present on both generations of consoles. So, they said this in their previous one as well, which interests me as to how different gameplay is potentially going to be on the next gen of consoles. What are they adding that is not going to be in this one? We'll find out in the future. Hopefully it doesn't take them too long to actually give us details. But there's a lot to go over here, which is, again, I'm a sucker for all of these things. I love it. So let's go. Before we dive in, let me zoom in, actually, so you can read this a little bit better. That should be easier for you to read if you don't want to listen to me. Let's touch on a concept that you'll see mentioned throughout the article, which is player personality. World-class players can perform as effectively as their real-life counterparts. We're increasing the number of attributes that are used to decide each action's quality, animation, speed, and effectiveness. For example, in the past, a through pass used the short or long passing attribute to determine quality. However, in FIFA 21, a through pass is a mix of short/long passing, vision, and composure. That's pretty big, honestly. If that's the same in other things as well, such as shooting, that's pretty huge, because every single time that I look at a player's passing stats on FIFA, I literally look at short and long passing, the rest are completely irrelevant. Whereas now, if you actually have to look at other stuff like vision and composure on that player, suddenly some players are going to be more usable than others based on these kind of things, especially something like vision, which people didn't care about at all before. Player personalities will be taken to the next level, and you'll see this term used as we highlight spots where this concept will have an impact. Okay. Now, Agile Dribbling. What I'm going to very quickly do is, because you didn't have the sound of this when it showed it, I'm going to quickly show you the dribbling again.
Better scoring opportunities and player-controlled runs.
So,
1v1 battles. In FIFA 21, Agile Dribbling lets you unleash your creativity to go past the defender. Show off some fast footwork to leave them lost for words.
That right there looks insane. We're going to put this to 0.25 speed. So this is at quarter speed.
Defender.
Right?
Show off some fast footwork to leave
again,
them
at
lost
0.25 speed. That's how quick dribbling can be. So this could potentially bring us back to like when FIFA 17 and stuff, you used to utilize the LT-RT dribbling massively, and the people that were best at the game were the people that mastered that dribbling. If that is the case in this game, dribbling is going to be one of the most important things in the game. It's a brand new way to keep close control of the ball in FIFA 21. Blah, 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 blah. One of our biggest goals is to make dribbling a balanced matchup for the jockey mechanic. Good. The intention is to design a dribbling system that's more explosive, agile, and fluid, while still ensuring it remains similar to what is seen on the real-life pitch. I mean, what was just seen at the very end of that is not really realistic. Still. Hold L1 or RB while moving the left stick, and you will notice the dribbler moving the ball with rapid and precise touches. Every player in the game can agile dribble. However, the higher a player's dribbling, agility, reactions, and ball control attributes, the better their dribbling is going to be. Here's an example of it here. This is with Heung-min Son. This looks filthy. Absolutely filthy. my god, this is going to be a nightmare to defend against. But, in my opinion, that's good. If someone gets really good at dribbling, they should be rewarded, in my opinion. Same with skill moves. I hope they touch on skill moves in this as well, but we'll see. We're also introducing contextual agile dribbling. It's optional, but is enabled by default. When enabled, it will make your players automatically perform agile dribbles in certain situations. For example, when in a one-on-one, it can be turned off. We also improved player agility and animation transitions when performing left stick dribbling and strafe dribbling, as introduced last year. So dribbling combos could be a massive thing. You may see skill moves sort of go out the window. Does this mean that dragbacks don't really exist? Or dragbacks are going to be utilized by doing this system? Dragbacks was... I mean, we pretty much called this. Because of how OP dragbacks were in FIFA 20, we knew that they were going to change them. I didn't think they'd change them this drastically. You are basically seeing... like, that right there is a dragback. That's as close as you're going to get to it. Okay. Right, creative runs. This could be huge. We want to make sure you have more control over how your attacking AI players move. We've introduced new options to influence how your AI teammates move off the ball. You can now take full 360-degree control over the direction of the runs of your teammates by flicking the right stick after triggering a run. So instead of just tapping L1 or LB, you can now direct where they run. Interesting. I like that. I hope you can do the same when you press RB. Because one of the problems when you tap L1 or R1 is that they don't always run in the direction that you want them to run. Whereas now if you can control that run and make them go, instead of around that player, go inside that player and through the gap, that's amazing. One of the problems that I have with pressing R1 or RB is that a player, as soon as you press it, they just run in a straight line towards you. I wish that you could make them run towards you, but also towards the goal, for example. So they're basically cutting inside with that run. And I guess this would potentially eliminate that problem that I have with that mechanic, if this works well. So, we'll see, we'll see. Directed pass and go. Decide where your teammates make their run after a pass by immediately flicking the right stick in the desired direction. So what's the difference between that? Flicking the right stick after triggering a run, or after calling a teammate short. Oh, sorry, I didn't read that. Perfect. Immediately flicking the right stick in the desired direction. This feature works with any type of pass, ground pass, lob pass, through ball, or even crosses. I don't understand how this is different to this one. Oh, so this is once you've passed the ball. So, right, okay, okay. So you have to... So it's a 1-2, but you can decide where the 1-2 runner goes. Okay. Good. You can have up to 5 players performing a directed run or directed pass and go simultaneously. That is crazy. The best players on FIFA 21 are going to be sending their players on journeys around your defense. 5 of them at a time. I like it. I love it. This to me just screams of adding in more skill-based mechanics. Right? That is what I feel like I'm looking at right here. I hope that that is the case. We'll see how it performs. Player lock. Pressing both sticks at the same time to lock to your current player when in attack. When you're locked to a player and pass the ball, the CPU AI will then take control of the on-ball player, allowing you to move your off-ball player and ask for a pass back in a better position. For more control, flick the right stick anytime after using the player lock described above to switch and lock to another player. So you can basically let the AI play for you whilst you controlled someone else and ask to get the ball passed back to them. That's insane. I mean, it's a cool idea. I wonder if it's either going to be bang average or OP. Because if the AI turn out and pull out insane passes and crosses and stuff like that, it's going to be insanely effective. There's a lot to get into here. For all of these mechanics, there's a limited time window for you to trigger the direction of the run in order to prevent conflicts with skill moves, knock-ons, and player switching. As such, the sooner you can perform the right stick flicking, the better chance you have to successfully pull it off. Make sure you practice to get the timing correct. That's fine. There's a trainer option that shows the path of the runs on the pitch. That's fine. Now, next thing, there's so much to get into here. This is going to be a long video. Apologies if you don't like long videos, but hey, this is sick. Positioning personality. In FIFA 21, we're focusing on adding deeper AI player personality and positioning, both offensively and defensively. Okay. While we made a lot of improvements throughout multiple areas of the AI positioning system, we want to focus our explanation on a few specific behaviors that will showcase the personality and the depths of this system. Now, already, what I'm seeing right here, if this is not triggered by L1 or R1, this is back to FIFA 17 levels of AI intelligence when attacking. Right? Because he is dropping into space rather than standing in front of this player, which is what we see throughout every game in FIFA 20. It's a massive problem. Positioning for attacking personality and defensive awareness for defensive personality. So those two stats are now going to be huge. Positioning attribute impact. Positioning attribute can impact many elements of attacking personality. Specific behaviors below scale according to the player's attribute. This is great. Very, very good. This means that an attribute of 85 might feel good, but 90 is significantly better and 99 is exponentially superior. Onside and offside runs. Awareness know when to slow down and time the run to perfectly stay onside. This will be overridden when using tactics and instructions. Interesting. So if you have getting behind, then all of this is irrelevant. So maybe the standard getting behind for strikers that has been in the game for years is no longer going to be the standard. Okay. So let's look at low positioning first. So he's just going to run and run offside. Interesting. If this works like this in the game, this is FIFA 20. In a nutshell, this is FIFA 20. This left-hand side, your player sprints and then just stays offside. If your player actually stops like that, that is massive. Absolutely massive. This could be a huge change that we haven't really had before. Passer readiness runs. Understanding of when the ball possessor is ready to make a pass so the player can time the run perfectly. High attribute players will show intelligent timing and movement based on where the passer is facing and moving. This will be overridden again. Decision-making time, the ability, blah, 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 blah. Okay, passing lane analysis. Okay, behaviors that will only happen when a player has a very high positioning attribute. The ability to create separation between attackers and defenders when the defense is tight. Okay, let's have a little look then. So, this guy dropping off of this defender to get into the space. This striker here pulling down to get into space. Attacking positioning stat is going to be massive. So people that have only really played FIFA 20 and FIFA 19 will not understand the skill gap difference that can be utilized with these kind of features. This is more similar to FIFA 17 than the last three FIFAs by a long shot. This to me looks insanely promising. And I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, because I've been let down with the last two FIFAs so much. But this is a return to what made FIFA incredible for me. You're going to be seeing so many more goals in FIFA 21 than in FIFA 20. And that is incredible. Ideal crossing positioning, fake runs in the box is huge. Chance creation support as well. Now, whether that is now balanced out with this defensive awareness attribute, run tracking is going to be determined by that. Two-man marking to prevent counterattacks requires two AI teammate players, each with very high defensive awareness attributes. In-game stats are going to be more important than ever before then. Exactly, so someone like Harry Kane may now be insane because of how high his attacking positioning stats are going to be. He's going to make amazing runs. Whereas before, you wouldn't notice the different runs between someone that's just super fast and someone that's super slow. Right? So, okay. Defensive midfielder, diligent tackling. The ability to intelligently mark and track runs by attackers without giving up or leaving them open. They'll track dangerous attacking opponents even if they are already marked by a teammate due to the scale of the threat. Better position themselves in order to cut off passing lanes, limit the opponent's actions. Active versus passive winger. Fullback cooperation. Okay. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing this left back leave, or left centre back, whoever they are, initially tracking the fullback, the winger, sorry, but then I'm assuming this is what they're focusing on. They will then leave the winger to come back in to defend the actual threat rather than the winger. So instead of just bombing down the wing, following this guy and leaving a massive gap in the middle, they will now automatically come back across and help support in defense. Okay. Interesting. The one question that will determine how all of this plays in the game is how effective is one versus the other, right? Is this defensive stuff that they're going to add in completely wipe out the offensive stuff? I hope not. I hope not. I hope it just means that your players are slightly better positioned than they have been in recent years, but then you still have to manually defend. Smoother encounters! There's so much in this. Fair play, EA. Honestly, fair play. To promote a smoother game flow in FIFA 21, we created new animation systems and combined them to better decide how players interact physically with each other. This will reduce the amount of chaotic situations in the game. Again, they said this last year, so I'm going to take this one with a pinch of salt. This stuff was not talked about last year at all, whereas this was. And it didn't fix anything. Better understanding of running past to prevent players running into each other. Good. Refined system to enable players to jump over and avoid fallen players. Good. If a collision does happen, players will adjust their bodies to avoid head-on collisions and receive a smaller impact. So this is FIFA 20. And this is FIFA 21. Now, what is the difference here then? So, can we pause these? We can't. So here, this guy trips over the guy that's on the floor. This guy falls over as well. Whereas on this one, this defender here doesn't get tripped up by the blue guy. He alters his run and locks onto the ball. So you're not seeing this guy get completely wiped out of the game for no reason. He changes his path so that he does not get tripped up by this blue guy. He then comes around and gets the ball. If that actually works, that will be great. Again, we'll see. The intention for this system is for key moments in the match like battles for possession or net front scrambles. Yes. To result in more lifelike encounters as players strive to get to the ball rather than situations where players may have unrealistically fallen over one another trying to get the ball. So again, let's look at FIFA 20 first. So this guy falls over, barges into the blue guy, and then the blue guy barges into that red guy as well. Okay? In this one, the slide tackle, The red guy jumps over him, does not barge into the blue guy. For the slide tackle... Okay, this second red guy... I mean, I feel like these don't really compare, though. Because in this one, this guy doesn't get the ball with the slide tackle. Does he? It looks like he misses the ball, whereas in this one, he gets the ball. I don't know. I don't know on that one. Enhanced CPU AI and competitor mode. I don't really care about this. Designed to refresh the CPU AI in career mode and squad battles. Okay, so this is now going to be, what, more difficult than Ultimate? Brand new way to play against the CPU AI. So you can basically play against techs. Right? I don't know. So, sure. Fundamentals of football. Throughout the FIFA 20 cycle, we received feedback from the core community about the fundamentals of football. Yeah, they don't exist in FIFA 20. Right? With that in mind, our team has put a lot of effort into translating that feedback into enhancing some of the most important foundations of the game. If I scroll down and I do not see passing here, I'm going to be very disappointed. Because passing is the most broken core game mechanic in FIFA. Headers. We made the decision to make heading less effective, resulting in less goals being scored from headers as parts of our efforts to promote skill differentiation and the idea that most of the goals that are scored are the direct result of player actions. In FIFA 21, to improve the viability of scoring with headers, while keeping a skill gap in the game, we're introducing manual heading. I do like that. I think that's very good. Because before, when you go for a header, you do not have any control over it. You don't know whether it's going to go straight at the goalkeeper, straight at the front post, the back post, or what. Now you're actually going to have to aim your header. I like it. I just hope that it means that heading is not back to FIFA 19 levels of heading. Whilst there is going to be a skill element to heading now, I hope that it doesn't mean that height and jumping are now the most meta stats in FIFA again. We'll see. Your headers will not be assisted in any way with the aim and power used, determining the initial target. Okay. Playing with manual heading will be mandatory in all Ultimate Team modes. I like that. I like it. Good. Very interesting, but good. Defending. We improved the controlled tackling system introduced in FIFA 20. That's what I was talking about before. That thing that didn't work at all? That thing. Right? A lot of work went towards adding player personality for tackling, allowing for the top defenders to stand out, so Van Dijk's going to be even more OP this year, and be more accurate when predicting where the ball will be in order to make the best tackle. Multiple attributes. For example, when performing standing tackle, we'll now use a combination of standing tackle, defensive awareness, and aggression. Good. So he comes across, and then just shadows in. Okay. This doesn't look like anything new, though. I feel like I could do this in FIFA 20. I feel like if you just hold the left trigger, you can do that with basically any defender in the game. I don't feel like that's a very good example. But maybe it's hard to show examples. I don't know. We also reworked shoulder challenges and seal-outs. I don't know what that means. Shoulder challenges have been reworked to create better contact between players and avoid the defender overshooting their opponent. Good! Because that's annoying. Seal-outs are when a defender puts himself between the attacker and the ball. Oh, so that. To take back possession or shepherd the ball out of play, and they've also been re-engineered to create a better positioning between the player and their opponent. And yeah, you just tap LT. Okay. Interesting. Blocking. We're excited to be refreshing blocking in FIFA 21. The team has completely rewritten the blocking system and added it to the controlled tackling technology, creating more reliable and realistic blocks. To ensure the contrast between good and the best players, we added player personality via their attributes A player's attributes will determine the effectiveness of a block, how far away from the ball a player can block, how long it takes to start the block animation, how well you can react and transition into a different block animation if something changes, how long it takes to recover from a block. Passing! Passing! The goal for this year is to create a more intelligent passing game. Thank God! The main focus here is to improve the passing system by adding a better understanding of space in the opponent's position. Thank Christ! In order to pass towards the target that makes most sense for the receiver in the situation. Through balls! This system was rebuilt from the ground up to improve possible pass targets, receiver selection, and increase player personality. In addition, new concepts were introduced like pass openness, providing smart passers with the ability to open up the pitch by leading the receiver away from opponents. Oh! Pass complexity. New passing trajectories and targets are possible, allowing for killer through balls that will put the receiver in a great scoring opportunity, instead of booting the ball in the wrong direction when you press triangle. There is also a new semi-assisted through ball that takes into consideration your controller input angle. If this is as good as it could be, people may play on semi-assisted. We'll see though. So, what do we got here? A banging cross to the back post. Okay. Sure. Crossing. This system was remodeled to create more unique crosses that help players get the most out of their build-up. Whipped cross. Inspired by Trent. Not Trent. By Trent to me. These fast and dangerous crosses travel through the box and are perfect for a teammate to just put their head in the way. So low cross is no longer RB and cross. Driven cross. Oh no, wait, RB and LB and cross. Okay, so driven cross is still RB. This cross is fast and dangerous, but tends to travel at waist height, being ideal for a volley or shot. Yep. And then ground driven cross. RB and double tap, extremely fast cross, travels on the ground. Assisted is now default setting. Semi-assisted, bring it more in line with how the... Okay, good. Combined with the already existing cross trajectories, high cross, cross, ground cross, we have multiple crossing options to try. Adding the pass openness concept, as covered in the through passes section, to ground passes. Improvements to targets and trajectories of lob and lob through passes, great. Ability to perform last second animation transitions, allowing you to change direction for your lob or lob through pass, good. Multiple new animations for better passing, good. Better trajectories for clearances to avoid teammates, opponents, and your own goal, good. Good, 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 good. We'll see. Animation fluidity. We improved our animation transition system, allowing for faster transitions, which support a more fluid and responsive experience. We'll wait and see. Player personality was also added to animation quickness. This is going to be huge. This is going to be huge this year. Giving players more control. Besides all of the features and improvements mentioned above, we added even more mechanics and innovations to give you more control both on and off the pitch. Bridge and nutmeg skill moves. New ways to beat opponents in 1v1. The bridge skill actually already exists. Just thought I'd throw that in there. It exists in the game, it just never happens because of how precise the input has to be. It never happens. RB, then RB, only forward direction. So a bridge skill, if you don't know, is basically if you're running one-on-one with a defender, you knock it one way and you run round them the other way. Right? That's the bridge skill. Directional nutmeg. I like this. RB and then RB and right stick in any direction. With the dribbling and directional nutmegs. Okay. Good, 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 good. Because we hate nutmegs in FIFA because they require no skill. You don't press anything to do it. It's purely luck-based. Cancel foul advantage. Allows the player to ask for the foul instead of keeping the advantage by double tapping the triggers, which is what you do anyway, but But sometimes it takes a few seconds for it to work. Sometimes it doesn't work. Now it does it automatically. Great addition. Instant hard tackles. RB and tackle. Without having to hold and power up the tackle button. Okay. Setup touch 2.0. RB and right stick flick in a direction. Improvements including faster animations, keeping the ball closer to the player, and performing more accurate shots. Basically admitting setup touch was garbage. Nobody used it. It didn't work. It was a pointless feature. Now it should be better. Improved finesse shots. The curve attribute will now have significantly more influence over a finesse shot's ball curl. Good. And they've added new animations. Call players into the box on goal kicks! Good! Some teams may have defenders in the box by default, as this is based on tactics. This happens when playing with teams that use a possession tactic. Good! Improved super cancel mechanics. Added a variety of ways to cancel actions, giving you more control over your moves on the pitch. Hard super cancel. Allows players to go into free move in any situation except when dribbling the ball. LT and RT and LB and RB. Okay. Pass or shot cancel, if you just tap both triggers, allows you to cancel any pass or shot request and continue dribbling with the ball. That's very nice. Instead of having to do a fake shot, if you want to change, you can just keep going. I like that. Skill move cancel. Oh my god, it's back. Allows users to cancel specific skill moves during the move. Thank you! I can't believe they got rid of that years ago. Well done. More info on which moves can be cancelled in the skill moves improvement section below. Where? Oh! I'm loving everything I'm reading. So what is this? That was smooth as hell. So that's your cancel. Instead of doing a fake shot, you basically fake a fake shot and then can take a different touch. Nice. As we mentioned a few times before, one of the biggest goals we have for FIFA is to give you more control over your gameplay. You can turn auto flare passes off! Thank God! How many years have we moaned about people doing back heels when you don't want them to? Oh. Well done, EA. Well done. Auto clearances are on by default, but you can turn them off. That's pretty big as well. That's pretty big. Auto shots on or off. These very rarely happen, but are interesting when they do. Player lock on by default in the creative runs is turned on. That's fine. Contextual agile dribbling. Will be interesting to see whether this is better to have it on or off. Assisted headers, again, doesn't matter in Ultimate Team. They don't exist. Through ball assistance, semi. Okay. Cross assistance, that's fine. Directed runs indicator, that's fine. And it's all in here. Good, good, good. The skill gap on this game looks mad based on what they've said here. Skill move improvement. Please. My dream scenario in what I am about to read here is that if you do different skill moves in a row, they're not affected anywhere near as much by error as they have been in FIFA 20. That's what I'm begging for here. Please. If not, I don't really know what they're going to change. General improvements. Okay. 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 Increase the number of complex skill moves that you can chain without the ball getting away to 3, up from 2 in FIFA 20. Thank God. Complex skill moves include Elastico, Drag Back, and La Croqueta. So you could do 3 drag backs in a row without the ball going mental, rather than 2. Good, good, good. Increase the number of normal skill moves that you can chain without the ball getting away up to 6 from 3 in FIFA 20. Heel to heel. Fake shot. Stop and turn. So unless you're doing insane skill moves, you can chain a McGeady spin into a heel to heel, into a roulette, without it being a problem. Easy skill moves like the ball roll and step over can be chained without penalty. Yes, EA! Note that the numbers above represent the values possible if you execute exactly what is laid out above and will vary slightly in other situations. Chaining up to 6 normal skill moves is possible, but that value would change if one of the skill moves was a complex skill move. That's fine, as long as you actually tell us which skill moves are going to be complex compared to normal. Good. Remap drag back to be L1 and RB and left stick. Slower for lower skill move. Ooh! So drag backs are only going to be really smooth if you've got 5-star skills. Okay, okay. What does chaining mean in that context? So chaining means if you do a skill move straight after another one. Right? So if you do a roulette and then without passing the ball or anything like that, you instantly then do another roulette or a heel to heel, that's chaining skill moves. Okay? So not taking touches and stuff in between them. Okay. Details around some of these changes can be found in the online gameplay responsiveness section below. There's another section! This video is going to be nearly an hour long, and I'm loving everything that I'm reading. Ball distance was made closer for rainbows and flicks! Have EA been watching my streams? Oh my goodness! The amount of times I've complained about this specific thing is crazy. Greater leniency to allow the triggering of a skill move when the combination of the right stick, left stick inputs combined with the direction as player. Oh my good god. This right here. Do you know what this means? This sentence means when you do a fake shot forwards, but your player does a Ronaldo chop, it's not going to happen anywhere near as much in the next game. Thank Christ. Prioritize skill move execution over sprint requests. Thank you. That's a massive problem. I love you. I love you. All access skill moves. All players can now perform right stick skill moves. Oh my god. But their effectiveness depends directly on their skill move rating and attributes. Lower rated players will perform slower and more error prone variants of some of these skill moves. We have had this exact conversation in the last week. That this is what I wanted skill moves to be in FIFA. This is exactly what I have asked for. After the last couple of years of nonsense that we've had. So, even with 1-star skills, roulette, heel to heel, feint and exit, stop and turn, drag backs, rainbow flicks. I said I wasn't going to get too gassed today. I take it all back. Skill move cancel. Some skill moves can now be cancelled. All fake shots, feint forward and turn, retouch roulette, lane change, turn and spin, stop and turn. This is the biggest one. This is by far the biggest one. People are going to be able to do half of a McGeady spin and cancel it. That used to be massive back in the day, before they got rid of the ability to cancel skill moves. This is huge. New skill moves added. Feint forward and turn. Drag to heel. Ball roll fake turn. That could be beautiful. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, why am I so excited? I'm going to be so let down when this game is going to end up being terrible. Oh my god, it sounds so good. If this game does not have button delay, Oh my god. God. Okay. General improvements in community-based feedback. We've been running forward-thinking feedback sessions since the launch of FIFA 20. Even despite being kept physically apart. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. Below are some of the main topics. As we've been covering throughout the FIFA 20 cycle, gameplay responsiveness has been a key focus for our teams, especially those working in the FIFA Live space. We've been running feedback sessions focused in this area with a wide variety of our players. We specifically had players send us videos and examples of situations they felt were gameplay responsiveness issues. While investigating these examples sent to us, we found several key themes. However, in most situations, what players associated with that was actually not related to online at all, and also happened in offline matches. They instead were related to elements of gameplay which we have worked to improve in FIFA 21. So the game was broken, it wasn't you lagging, basically is what they're saying. Skill move detection. We received examples when some very high-skilled players were moving the right stick so fast that some of the inputs were not registering, which has now been corrected. You heard it here first, guys. I am a very high-skilled FIFA 20 player. How many times do you watch my streams and hear me complain about my player ignoring a skill move? Literally every damn day. Tens, hundreds of times. We also had examples where the right stick was getting flicked a number of times before an actual skill move was... The fact that they are focusing a lot on skill moves, I love it. Causing the intended skill move to not register, this has also been corrected. In FIFA 20, requesting that a player's sprints would take precedence over a skill move request, sometimes cancelling a skill move. Thank God. Other changes were detailed above. Switching improvements. Improved multiple cases where no right stick switch would happen. For example, during some tackling situations or when quickly changing from offense to defense. Yes. Resolved multiple cases of unwanted auto switches. Yes. Address cases where players wouldn't lock to the ball after a switch. Yes. Improved L1 switching by prioritizing players that are related to the play. Yes, yes, yes. Stabilize the next player's switch indicator to reduce unnecessary indicator movement. I didn't think that was a massive thing for me, but these are the four. God, yes. General responsiveness. Improved animation transitions after controlling the ball. Good. Reduced sensitivity of right trigger to produce unwanted knock-ons. Multiple cases of tackles instead of shot, pass, or skill move in contested situations and vice versa. Yep. Address some situations where your pass or shot input would be dropped and not register. If these things have been worked on and improved, these are the biggest problems in FIFA 20. Thanks to feedback, we identified a few changes that could be made in gameplay to create a more enjoyable experience for everyone playing the game. Removal of some celebrations, including Shush and A-OK. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. We are planning to make more changes in this area, so stay tuned. I wonder... I think they might remove celebrations from FUT Champs. To be honest with you. I think they'll do that. I'd be surprised if that isn't a thing. Removal of the walkback cinematic after a goal in online matches. Thank Christ. Reduce the length of goal celebrations. Thank Christ. No more shushing to the halfway line or stupid dances. A-OK as the Deli Alley. Is it? Not the thumbs up. I don't know. Reduce the waiting time for multiple set pieces, which had all been set to 30 seconds. Good. Good. Auto skips some animation sequences when ball goes out of play in online matches. For example, when a player goes to fetch the ball on a throw-in, or when the keeper slowly walks to put the ball down for a goal kick. Thank you! Reworked logic to improve detection of when the half and end of match should finish. Huh. So now you're not going to see 90 plus 2 turning into 90 plus 9. Everything sounds fantastic. Competitive and core community feedback. We paid special attention to very specific changes that were being consistently brought up by competitive and core community players during our feedback sessions. No ball collision with hands. Outfield players' hands and forearms are now permeable and should not collide with the ball, preventing handball situations from influencing play. We mean that the ball will pass through the player's arm from below the elbow to his hands. Okay. Example of this undesired situation in FIFA 20, when a defender attempts to block a shot, but the ball hits their hand instead, preventing a goal. Good. Quick tactics. Team press timer. We saw feedback around players being able to waste time in sometimes unrealistic ways and that it was difficult for the defending teams to try to get the ball back. Yes. We revamped the team press quick tactic to no longer result in a constant pressure defensive tactic. It now triggers a temporary auto press behavior on demand and with a cooldown timer that prevents it from being overused. Interesting. Manual switch to offside trap player. Allow manual switching to a player that is performing an offside trap. Okay, that's good. I didn't really use the offside trap, partially because of that, because you couldn't then switch to the players. Okay. Ground pass assistance. Changes to minimize the avoidance of an opponent's players when making assisted ground pass, specifically in situations where the pass, due to avoiding the defender, would end up going behind a running receiver. The most annoying animation in all of FIFA 20. How many times have you passed a ball and it's gone behind the player for no damn reason whatsoever? That's big. Big. Jockey acceleration, deceleration. Players with a lower defensive awareness attribute have a reduced jockey effectiveness in order to encourage jockeying with actual defenders as opposed to forward players. Thank Christ! So you're not going to be tackled by some guy's Eusebio that is run and sprinting backwards. Goalkeeper save consistency. Improve multiple goalkeeper behaviours, including when to punch versus when to catch the ball. More consistency on reflex saves. Situations where the goalkeeper decides between rushing out, clearing the ball, blocking the attacker, or taking control of the ball. Good. Change goalkeeper positioning behaviour to better cover near post. Throw-in positioning. Better positioning to provide quicker targets. Thank Christ. Throw-ins are so annoying. Chip shots accuracy. Improved chip shot targeting system. Good. They're garbage in FIFA 20. You will miss chip shots when they should easily be a goal. You could have no goalkeeper in goal. Do a chip shot from the edge of the box and it'll go off target. General improvements. We also have a couple of new features that are exclusive to kickoff mode, FIFA attributes and rewind. That's fine. This feature modifies players' attributes to provide an enhanced and friendlier gameplay experience. When turned on, the increase in relevant attributes makes players feel more responsive and accurate, providing a similar experience as when playing foot with high chemistry. Nice. I like it. Good. Good choice. These attributes are modified depending on each player's position. There you go. If you want to pause it, and you can look at these. Nice. I like that. Good. Rewind is in kickoff only as well. You can rewind back up to 30 seconds with some limitations that are described below. But beware, once you do, that's a new timeline you'll have to work with. You won't be able to undo and go back to where you were before activating the feature. It's shared with the replay UI. There are two ways to access it during the game. L2 and RT and options, or pause and press that. Cannot go back to a previous half or after the whistle has been blown. Can't go back to before an injury, sub, or anything like that. Okay. There'll be some points in time that will prevent you from getting in the exact requested starting point. That's fair. That's fair. There are lots of other mechanics and smaller changes we've added this year, besides everything mentioned above. To mention some, hundreds of new animations to refresh and polish multiple areas. Okay. New goalkeeper antics on penalty kicks. Interested to hear what they even mean by that. Okay. Turn off the trainer as default, thank Christ. New rules, settings to call a handball for goalkeepers when handling the ball outside of the box. Good! That's a big thing. Turn off time finish mechanic. That, okay. Multiple new celebrations, including the finger swipe and the selfie next to ad boards. Player signature celebrations for Mbappe, Haaland, Bergwijn, and more to come. So only Mbappe is going to be able to go when he scores against him foot champs. Thank God. That about rounds it up for our overview on gameplay for FIFA 21. A huge thank you to our community for stopping by and reading, and keep it locked for more news soon. As mentioned earlier, we'll be back until with further feature deep dives and closer looks at what's new in PS5, Xbox Series X versions later this year. You have absolutely smashed it out of the park. Jesus. Before today, I was excited. I wasn't this excited. If this stuff plays as it is described in FIFA 21, we might have the best FIFA of all time. The one thing I will say is, if there is still button delay in FIFA 21, everything that we have just read and watched for an hour is irrelevant. If there is not button delay in FIFA 21, this has the potential to be the best FIFA we have ever had by a long shot. And those are my thoughts. I'd love to know what you guys think. If you have enjoyed our massive read-through of all of this, make sure you've hit the thumbs up. Make sure you've subscribed, because that is insane. For those that are watching the stream, we're going to continue, and I'm going to have a discussion with you guys about everything that we've just read. For those that are watching the video, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments section, because that is madness.